Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No!
What day is it? Monday? Oh, Monday!
Monday, Monday, so good to me.
Hey, it's Monday.
Medical
Monday.
Changes could be coming to Michigan's marijuana law. A new set of bills now being heard in Lansing.
Marijuana is not a drug.
The bills would have major implications to small medical growers known as caregivers.
That's some heavy shit, man.
Small pot farmers in California say the state is not standing by its promise to protect.
Big companies were supposed to be limited, but some have stacked hundreds of licenses.
Stop hitting me so hard.
Created a cartel, essentially.
You have an industry allowing for businesses to operate like cartels.
But it's a Monday.
Harm has been done by the fact that we didn't legalize it back then.
Well, I don't know if there's any harm that's been done.
There was people getting arrested, people getting thrown in jail. I mean, that counts, doesn't it?
What kind of joint is this, man?
Smoking marijuana all in public. You would think that shit was legal. We the Pistons in the 8, 9, and 9. Oh, bad boy, bad boy.
It's just another medical.
And welcome to Medical Mondays, y'all. This is your host with the most, THC, in his motherfucking bloodstream, BERG. Of course, we got a returning panelist with us, Adam L. Brook, a.k.a. Mr. Hash Bash himself.
Hey now, how you doing?
And we got a returning panelist with us, Jamie Lowell, here to chop it up with us about some news stories tonight.
Hey, trying to figure out where to get this picture going here. Take me a minute.
Yeah, everybody forgive Jamie. He's just getting off of work, man. Appreciate him taking the time to join us tonight. Shout out to everybody out in the chat already. Got Jared, Lou Brett, James Holland. We got I'm sure there's more people in here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Before we get into anything, give a huge shout out to all of our awesome sponsors. Huge shout out to Native Made 313, Michigan Turf Farms, Nugget Duction Extracts, Tiki Madman, SOB Labs, and Tree Street Packaging. Boom. Of course, here on Medical Mondays, we want to stress a fact. If your state has a medical marijuana program, go out and get your medical marijuana card. Here in Michigan, as well as other states, you can head up to Detroit Certification Center, y'all. Get your card in as little as 10 minutes online. You can get at them on social media at Detroit Cert Center, or go to the website, DetroitCertCenter.com, or give them a call or text at 248-275-6707. There's plenty of other people you can hit up as well. You got Pure West out west, Michigan Weedsters out west. We got Michael Dewey up north, TC3, Vehicle City. The list goes on and on, y'all. So stop making excuses. Go out and get your card. Please and thank you. We need to let these politicians know that we're still motherfucking here, y'all. Oh, also, I want to remind everybody, if you haven't already, save the date. October 20th. It's going to be a give back event for a coat drive. It's going to be from 2 to 7 October 20th. It's a Sunday, of course. Plenty of awesome vendors. I'm sure everybody who comes in will get a raffle ticket to win some gift baskets from all the awesome vendors. I'm sure, I know for sure Native Made's going to be there. Nugget Duction, your boy Nice, John Doe, Buck Off Extracts, and the list goes on. And for food, of course, our boy Shy Tom's going to be in there. And maybe from Food Express, I'm not sure yet. So, any vendors out there watching, get it Nugget Duction Extracts on IG to secure your spot for a vendor. And yeah, man, come through, bring some coats, as well as I'm sure gloves, maybe long johns, all kinds of stuff that you need for the winter. And I'm sure it's going to be Capuchin Soup Kitchen and First Step Women's Shelter that's going to be benefited from this give back event. So come through. It's in Detroit. If you know, you know. If you don't, holler at your boy. But yeah, much love to everybody in the chat already. Got prop one up in here. Switch over to the studio. So yeah, what kind of news stories you got, Adam?
Oh, we're gonna start with that. No problem. I appreciate that. Give me half a second here. We'll take down the Medical Mondays. We'll put up the news stories. Well, I had mentioned something I had just seen, like almost breaking news types just seen, was that U.S. Senator Rand Paul, a Kentucky Republican, has introduced a bill in Congress that would raise the THC level on hemp products and lightly regulate them nationally. Now, the Hemp Economic Mobilization Plan Act, hemp, of course, being the acronym, among other requirements, would define hemp as containing up to 1%. Right now, it's limited to 0.3%. Paul's Hemp Act also would require testing of hemp-derived products rather than hemp flower or the plant, and hemp shipments to be documented during transport and delivery. He said that his legislation will help this growing industry reach its full economic potential and bring transparency to government regulations. Now, I had a big chuckle over the transparency in government regulations because who believes the government's ever being transparent?
No, that's what they say about, that's what they said about every state. Everything's going to be transparent. And then,
right.
5, 6, 10 years down the line, they find out people bought off. There's a whole monopolization scheme going on, like in Florida.
Yep. But Rand Paul's been in this game for a minute. This guy he's one of our fighters, and why? Because he's from Kentucky. It's part of his heritage, and he understands industrial hemp. But he said, and I like this. I think this guy's really on the ball. He said, "We achieved a hard-won victory, but there's still work to do to prevent the federal government from weighing down our farmers with unnecessary bureaucratic micromanaging. My legislation will help this growing industry reach its full economic potential. And of course, as he said, bring transparency to regulations." A competing bill introduced last month by Democratic Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, would create a federal agency to enforce fresh regulations on Farm Bill compliant hemp products in the United States and ban artificially or synthetically derived cannabinoids of any kind. Congress is a year overdue in its Farm Bill update, which typically happens every 5 years. So, but once again,
would you reread that again? I'm sorry, I heard the last part of it. I just want to hear the first part of it.
Hold on.
I heard about the synthesized cannabinoids,
Yeah,
but before that.
Whoa, too far. The competing bill, that part, a competing bill introduced last year by Democratic Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon would create a federal agency to enforce fresh regulations on Farm Bill compliant hemp products and then ban artificial or synthetic derived cannabinoids of any kind.
Okay.
But I mean, again, some of these guys get it.
I mean, when you say synthetic, though, is that just means taking something and making it different.
Taking CBD and putting it. I don't know how it works exactly. I don't just the headlines. Taking the CBD, isolate, putting it through an acid wash, altering it molecularly, and it turns into like a THC type. Delta 8.
It's so simple. The problem is the process is not. So people are afraid of the process, and they don't understand that it's no different than making whiskey. You pour a little, pour a little of that, and you have a different flavor than you started with.
Then you burn it off.
You're right. It's exactly right. So, you know, we all, I shouldn't say we all. Some of us back in the day gave the group of people that moved the ball forward a hard time for claiming that they wanted to treat cannabis like alcohol, because we knew that that wouldn't work. Well, this is exactly one of those moments when treating cannabis like alcohol would make sense. Instead, we get even stricter regulations and restrictions and more government overreach or overlook or whatever you want to call it. And again, where are the bodies? You can go to cemeteries of all kinds of people who died with all kinds of diseases over the years. And I guarantee you there are cemeteries full of nothing but dope fiends. You cannot find bodies of cannabis victims. So you're muted. No, you're not. Sorry.
I was muted, but then I realized I was muted.
I thought I saw you. But to me, it's so simple. I guess it's the hypocrisy that is what got me involved in the first place. So I'm not surprised that I'm so bothered by some of this. But, you know, this is America's going to treat this. And many, don't get me wrong, to say years ago that, we're going to give you the opportunity to tax it and we want you to be able to control it and all this stuff. That was a lie. That was Trumpism at its best for weed heads, because we want a lot more than that. We want total freedom of the plant. There should be, you're not able to show us any deficiencies that make sense enough to treat us the way you do. Nothing. And don't get me wrong, there are negatives. Not everything's a positive. But there are.
I mean, straight up, like if hypothetically, if you were gonna take fucking weed and take it to court, it would be the fucking prosecutors and everything they would have to fucking show what is wrong with this fucking plant.
Right.
That has never happened.
No.
Every fucking reason why weed is illegal is a fucking lie from the jump.
Yeah, I mean, some of it was political and cultural in nature, and then when those people got to power and they figured out how to use governmental agencies and the legislature against it. They did.
I forgot to ask, what's everybody smoking on? So while we're talking in here, let us know what you're smoking on out there. We'll let you know after Adam's done talking.
Oh, that'll,
So,
but anyway,
we got the whole show.
Yeah, right. I just found that very interesting that
personally, I think the whole fucking CBD to THC thing is so unnecessary. Like it's like, bro, just
but
fucking.
here's the problem. It's a loophole that allows people who can't have Delta 9, Delta something.
Yeah.
You can be a Delta 2. I mean,
or Delta 8. Yeah.
Right. You can get Delta 8 and
as long as it's not Delta 9.
You're cool.
You're good.
And there's Delta 10 out there.
Yeah.
No, it can even be Delta 9 too, because that can be derived from hemp.
Well,
it's like the
right.
concentration.
Oh yeah, they converted it over. Yeah.
As long as it's converted.
No, without the conversion. Without the conversion, because that 0.3% in a concentrate, like some states will say something's okay, and then it continues to add in THC composition as as it gets more mature or something, and then they make a concentrate out of it. It ends up with like a little concentration of THC to speak of, enough for somebody to feel like I guess that stuff's happened. And then the THCA thing is not covered by the synthetic rule change. That's why I asked you to repeat that, because I wasn't sure if that's what that was covering. The attempt was to try to stop that stuff, but
no. But the of course, people are going to take advantage of these loopholes, and that's why you see it in every gas station.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, if you can see a product in every, some places, everywhere you go, the gas stations have it. And if that's a product that you think is worth buying, then I would find the best price at it. But you can buy a Coca-Cola anywhere. It's probably one of the worst soft drinks on the planet for you chemically. But people still drink it, But the weed thing is just so unrealistic. And that's why I have a hard time with this whole price thing too. I saw an article about marijuana sales boom fueled by low flower prices. So the price is going down, but we're selling more than we've ever sold before. Where's it going? I mean, I just don't get it.
Some people are smoking some big, huge, fat, guilt-free joints.
No, I get that. And use, I would expect, would go up because of that. But these numbers just keep going up and up and up and more and more and more and more. Maybe that's because they're figuring out that it's not the harmful devil's weed that the government claimed it was for all these years. I mean, the three of us all know people specifically who did not touch marijuana before it was legalized. And
for sure. And we've had people on the show.
Right. And these are people that people would know.
Well, and younger people too, as well. I can't blame them for being their age. You know what I mean? But that whole fucking first experience was with the fucking cart.
Right.
That blew me away, man. That fucking blew me away.
There's people that are.
And his first job was at a dispensary, and he ain't never smoked weed. That shit was mind blowing.
What's even more mind blowing is the people that are making up all the rules and the laws are in the same boat, except they're not even now smoking. It's not like we got the legislators to sit down and pass a joint around and they all went, oh, that's what it is? Well, what are we wasting our time for? Or, wow, if that's what it does, I don't think people should be allowed to have that kind of fun. Whatever their issue is. But most of them Never had, or so they would claim. But at least in Michigan, they can now, thanks to the governor and them changing the law that state employees can smoke weed. Of course, I guarantee you that the head of the CRA hasn't smoked weed.
So, Florida senator sues the state over anti-marijuana ad, alleging unconstitutional use of taxpayer dollars ahead of legalization vote.
Was she against it?
No, it's a dude. So Florida Democrat senator suing the state for using taxpayer dollars to fund a recent ad that he says is unconstitutional in attempts to influence voters to oppose marijuana legalization initiative that will be on the ballot next month. Jason Pizzo, Democratic senator from Florida, who's expected to run for governor in 2026, announced on Friday that he would be seeking an injunction against Florida Department of Transportation over the ad, which warns against driving under the influence of cannabis, and then makes consented claim that DUI crashes increase in states with legalized marijuana, putting everyone at risk. So, I mean, I thought the numbers went down actually. But maybe I'm wrong.
Well, how are they getting those numbers though? That's again, we got to look at all of that.
Yeah.
You know, more people are dying testing positive from weed than ever.
Oh yeah,
because you know they never
it's out there. Yeah, I mean, like the whole fucking fentanyl shit. Like, come on, bro. Like,
don't get me started. Why? I mean, I have a real problem with opiate addiction because of the way opiates work, and I know what people have gone through. But it took 250,000 people to die from COVID before the government took any look at it. There's not enough people dying from opiates.
So
government.
Not only are they suing the state, but they're sending a cease and desist letter to 54 TV stations around the state
to not run the ad.
Yep.
I'm sorry, man. There's a lot of people that need these products, and they should be able to get access to them. And to work against the people like that,
yeah.
More people need it than are harmed by it. Can't you see that?
I mean, their whole thing is fucking. They're using taxpayer dollars.
Well, yeah. That to me, that's the easy violation. That's easy to see. That's wrong. You know. And to work against the people, you're an elected politician.
Right.
When they pass it by 67%, you're going to get voted out of office if you live in the, the right district. Now, some people are so entrenched in what they do that they're never going to lose their seat, no matter how they feel about anything. But most of these people aren't those people. So. But Florida's a mess, if you ask me. I mean, there's dispensaries everywhere, but it's all one company. There's a couple companies down there, but for the most part, it's one company. And how can you grow good weed in Florida, for God's sake? It's the worst environment in the world. You got other articles? I got another one from Michigan.
I got one that says growing cannabis and opium poppies may be key to U.S. supply chain.
Yeah.
After supply chain disruptions that made critical medicines scarce, a federal effort is underway to ensure domestic stocks of pharmaceutical ingredients.
Right. So those
So
fields in Afghanistan that we left.
they're growing them in fucking greenhouses now.
Right. We may have
So
to go
never
back.
mind that everyone calls him Groovy, or that the company he oversees, Bright Green, is preparing to grow cannabis and opium poppies inside greenhouses in a high desert in New Mexico. It would like to be known that it is not going to be put into any dispensaries.
Right. Medical grade only.
Yeah, right. So yeah, spends much of his time to dislodge the assumption that his company is part of the new wave of retail marijuana shops popping up in many communities in the wake of legalization in many states. His 70-acre farm will be centered on producing raw materials for pharmaceutical that uses cannabis, opioids, and addictive medicinal plants that treat pain, depression, and anxiety. So, yeah, dude's about to be fucking growing all kinds of poppies.
There you go. You had talked about the psychedelic mushrooms earlier.
Yeah.
I found an article where they get into what that piece of legislation would allow.
Mhm.
And
in New Jersey?
No, in Michigan.
Oh no, in New Jersey, there's a Senate panel that approved psilocybin therapy legalization bill.
New Michigan bill would legalize psychedelic mushrooms for people with PTSD. Newly introduced legislation in Michigan would clear the way for people with post-traumatic stress disorder to legally possess and use psychedelic mushrooms. Sponsored by Representative Mike McFall, Democrat. House Bill 5980 would legalize possession of up to 2 ounces of a substance that contains psilocybin, provided a person is 18 or older and has a medical record that demonstrates the individual has a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder, end quote. The change would also apply to substances containing psilocin, another psychoactive chemical found in mushrooms. In addition to the weight limit, the proposal allows possession, quote, only for personal use, end quote. And unlike more regulated psychedelic programs, such as Oregon's therapeutic psilocybin program, the Michigan measure does not contemplate licensing an industry to produce and dispense psychedelics. However, the proposal does state that qualified individuals would be not in violation of laws bearing the creation, manufacture, possession, or use of psilocybin or psilocin. Interesting. It's in the House Justice Committee. And of course, it hasn't been scheduled for a hearing, but there's a chance.
And there's Senator Irwin's Senate bill. I think it's Senate Bill 449. I'm not positive.
Well, I think that's the next horizon. And I think that a lot, and I don't realize, the one thing I don't understand is why is it happening so quickly? I mean, all of a sudden,
it's like surpassing cannabis.
Right.
Yeah.
They convinced the legislature to allow mushrooms much quicker than they did weed in many. The process didn't take as long.
The cannabis process coming before helped to pave the way, helped identify, the discussions, how you go about it. The headlines are very similar to the whole.
Well, right, but that's why I also think that they're going to have to change the way they go after the opiate problem and deal with it from a medical issue, not a criminal issue, and fix that situation, because that never made any sense. So But yeah, the mushroom thing is the next horizon. And then it'll be drugs in general. Because it didn't used to be this way. You used to be able to walk into a pharmacy and the pharmacist would give you what you needed based on what your problem was. And he could write a script for most of it, if not all of it. But, you know, now it's all about pharmaceutical companies, not local druggists. So we live in a different world.
So yeah, like I was saying, a New Jersey Senate committee has approved a bill that would legalize a therapeutic psilocybin program in the state, with even hesitant lawmakers saying that they're coming around on psychedelics proposal. Member of the Senate Budget and Approval Committee voted almost unanimously Monday. One member, Senator Douglas J. Steinhardt, abstaining to adopt a handful of the amendments to the bill and advanced it out of committee. I was certain it was a hard no, says Steinhardt before the vote, but I'm listening and contemplating. So, yeah.
Well, it's good.
And that guy's a fucking Republican. So
right. But it's good to know that a politician is willing to listen to somebody.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, oh, I thought it was a hard no.
Right.
But, you know.
You thought wrong, my friend. Just like you thought wrong on the weed thing. And even with mushrooms, I would say, show me the bodies. The biggest problem with mushrooms is people think they can go out and pick their own and think they're psychedelic, and then they eat the wrong mushroom.
Oh, yeah.
Thick. But generally, it doesn't kill them.
I know, yeah. But did you die? No.
You're right. But yeah, legal.
Cash in here. What up, though? Sinister Siren, Tushy Kai.
They were legal in Amsterdam for a minute. They had mushroom shops pop up everywhere.
Well, I heard the new thing over there is psychedelic truffles.
Yeah.
That's their new thing.
Well, they did some weird shit and like outlawed space cakes. Why? Because it was like eating pound cake from our friend. You'd eat one of these space cakes at a coffee shop, and when you'd get up to go find the door, you'd need some help. But
he needs milk.
They got rid of those, but yeah, then other things started to pop up, and now the big thing is the truffle.
Was that just weed brownies, or was it? Oh, it was
balls of hash.
Oh man,
this would just mess you up. It was, but I like the hot chocolate the best. They take a spoonful of butter, mix it in, psychedelic can of butter, and just knocks you on your ass.
So yeah, Bay Area startup shuts down and lays off 500 workers. California's largest cannabis delivery company, which was one point valued at $700 million and was dubbed the Uber of weed, is shutting down, according to the note from a CEO on Sunday. You know what company? Ease. Have you heard of it? It was supposed to be like the delivery. It's like the DoorDash of weed.
Ease. EASE.
Ease, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Well, Ease is currently winding down operations with a full closure expected by December 31st.
Really? There was
company is laying off nearly 500 workers, according to Jim Araby, vice president with United Food and Commercial Workers International Union.
right.
You know, the failure of Ease is only the latest high-flying California startup to fall during the economic collapse in the California market. Following a like mega retailer MedMen, which failed earlier this year, and Herbal, formerly the state's largest distributor, which shut down in 2023. But yeah, they're having a hard time in the weed game in Cali, I guess.
That's crazy. Who would have ever thought?
Billionaire tech investor James Henry Clark, who co-founded Netscape and its Stanford building named after him, invested in the company in 2021, became embroiled in years of legal fights with the investors. Clark loaned the company $36.9 million in 2022, only to foreclose on the company this spring, according to the federal court documents. So he's out of 39. Well, I mean, no, well, 36.9. So might as well be 37 million.
Right. I like that they got rich people involved at least. I mean,
so yeah, they were being wish-washy as fuck with the employees. Also, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're winding down," and the employees didn't know they were getting fired or anything until customers were hitting them up, like actually calling them, saying that they're unable to make purchases on their fucking online.
Really?
It's like an app. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. That's wild, bro. Like, oh yeah, well, the employees like, oh yeah, I thought it was kind of fishy when customers started calling up trying to make purchases over the phone, which they're not allowed to do. You know what I mean? It's like it's all done online.
Right.
That's so lame.
Well, I'm not necessarily surprised by it, though. You know? And what happened to their business?
They're shutting down.
Right. But that seems like a large-sized company to be shutting down.
Yeah. So, founders JT, a company owned by Clark, purchased Ease for $54 million at auction in August, according to the Green Market Report, pushing other investors out, giving him total control of the company. Ease's new owners are now shutting down the company while decides how to proceed, according to Ease's current CEO.
Oh, sounds like a hostile takeover.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a competition.
So, I mean, apparently the employees are unionized and everything. I don't know how that works out.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got to give a certain amount of notice, which
isn't what they got.
Right. That's crazy.
I forgot about this one last week. 3 men charged with 1.2 million pounds worth of cannabis. And this is in Glasgow. Glasgow, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Scotland.
Yeah, was Scotland. 3 men have been arrested and charged after police discovered cannabis worth 1 million in New Ayrshire. The discovery was made Wednesday at 12:30 in Bridgegate. I swear to God, Bridgegate, Irving, with the drug street value estimated between 1.2 and 1.8 million. 3 men aged 38, 30, and 29 appeared on court on Friday, and the police confirmed the reports had been submitted to the prosecutor. This goal. So that shit's going on over in Scotland. I don't know what's up with Ireland and Scotland. And they need to just fucking chill the fuck out. I think they need to smoke weed over in Ireland. Make some potato bombs or something.
There you go. It's wild.
So USA Cannabis brand Dope launches cannabis dispensary in Thailand, expanding international presence.
I wonder if our friend's involved with that. But I did see that the greenhouse just opened up a place. Ariane showing it off. I got a few people I know in Thailand in the cannabis business.
Yeah.
Are there dope dispensaries in the States?
No.
Unheard of.
Oh, they're strictly online.
Oh.
So Dope has an officially launched its exotic cannabis dispensary in Kamswai, Thailand, one of the country's most famous islands for tourism, marking a significant step in its brand's international expansion, highlighting the growth acceptance of cannabis in Southeast Asia. So Dope is recognized for its commitment to providing high-quality cannabis products via its website. The brand operates a robust online dispensary platform featuring dedicated subdomain with a fully functional web shop where customers 21 and up can legally purchase real products, which are delivered by USPS unless the recipient lives in one of the following states: Arkansas, Hawaii, Idaho, Kansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Oregon, Rhode Island, Utah, and Vermont. This web shop allows consumers to safely access premium cannabis from the comfort of their own homes, creating a streamlined, user-friendly experience. So how are they sending weed through the U.S. Postal Service?
I can't imagine they are.
Premium. So dope will match every dollar spent on cannabis products with an equal amount in clothing credits through the exclusive app available on the App Store and Google Play. So it has to be fucking I think it's hemp. I mean, they're saying cannabis, but you're not legally allowed to send cannabis
Through the mail.
No, right? Am I right?
Yes.
But is it legal to send hemp through the mail? It is, right?
Should be.
I think it is.
No, I mean it should be legal. The Farm Act made it legal, so why would you not be able to send it through the mail?
Yeah. So yeah, never. Yeah, I need to check this out. I wonder if you could just go to their website, or you gotta do it through the app. Nope, cannabis company. I don't know. It's not letting me search. What the fuck's going on? All right, man. Fuck dope cannabis. Next story.
That's pretty funny. There's some federal legislation that called the Clean Slate Act that would allow individuals convicted of simple drug possession and other low-level nonviolent crimes involving marijuana to request a record sealing. That's for offenses that aren't eligible for automatic relief. Again, this is for federal stuff. This is the federal government making these laws. This is just politics. They're just panhandling the people to get them to, think they're doing something. But the reality is that's for federal people convicted, which would help some people, I assume. But those numbers aren't as great as what's happened on the state level in every state in America. That's really what's got to be fixed.
Yeah, I can't find it. I mean, bro, you know how hard it is to search for a cannabis company called Dope?
Oh, I bet it's really possible.
Oh my God.
Google
man,
search would probably bring you up.
Oh, yeah, all
100
kind
million.
Detroit Dope. Like #1 search result. Like, that's not what I'm looking for. But
Wow.
So what? You ain't got any other?
I got a story about TerraSend Corporation, cannabis company. TerraSend secures second and final $26 million loan, reduces its debt in Michigan. They announced that they've completed the final draw of $26 million as part of its $140 million senior secured term loan. The loan, managed by Focus Growth Asset Management, was initially announced in August. The new funds were used to pay down higher interest debt in Michigan, helping the company strengthen its final position. Earlier this year, their chairman said that by closing this financing, the company has no other material debt maturing until 2027. Well, in the meantime, who's TerraSend? Are they a big grow?
I heard of them before.
I mean, I've heard of them, but I don't.
Like corporate shit, right?
They must be some big processor, growers or processors somewhere. But they're a publicly traded company, and their shares are.
What is it called?
TerraSend, TerraSend. They're TSNDF on the exchange, and they're traded 3.8% lower after word came out about their loan. But
they own Gage Cookies. Yeah, they're big, bro.
Right. They own all these
Wana
franchises.
Lemonade, Pinnacle, Apothecarium, Time Tree, Legend.
Right. I mean, I just that was my question, was when you're talking these kind of numbers, how come your name?
All right, you want to watch one of their videos?
Oh, sure, why not?
See if this works.
Maybe we'll see some bugs on the plane.
All right.
All right. What is up, everyone? We are in Boonton, New Jersey. It's the flagship facility for TerraSend, and we basically want to showcase to you guys an inside look from seed to sale as to how all their product is made. As many of you already know from their latest earnings, they've got #1 market share within this state for flower, and #2 market share overall, and this is a big strategy as far as their growth plan for this company. So what do we plan to do?
Corporate, bro. They're totally fucking corporate.
Oh, I see that.
That's whack how you can't even fucking like skip through the video. It's like, oh yeah,
Right.
you gotta watch it.
That doesn't surprise me.
I'll have to go through and see. I wonder if they got that on YouTube.
That's corporate cannabis.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all these companies, all they got to do is when they get big enough, go to people like that and say, hey, I need whatever, $20-40 million for my company. Want to buy it? And they do. And that's how Jamie's going to get rich. Damn. But they're not even buying up mom and pops, those guys. They're the big boys. I just drove by a house at Dank Ann Arbor. I was surprised to see them out there. But I guess these people are going everywhere. All these people are everywhere.
It's where Curaleaf was, right?
I don't know. It's the one closest to where my.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
They're all around the state.
Jack
But that's around the corner from a cookie shop. Imagine that. But yeah, I'm still shocked at the numbers that are being done on the southern border of Michigan. I know.
Oh, especially how fucking Ohio is going to start stealing our custos.
I met a guy that does $100,000 a day in his shop. I mean, that's a lot of money to do in a day. In any business. I don't care what you're selling. So it's good to know that the business is there. And those are all mom and pop, mostly mom and pops down there. Did you hear about that? And I don't remember the city because I'm high. The place where people have been waiting outside for 3 weeks to get licensing?
No.
Oh, yeah. I'm not
Where?
sure. Michigan, one of these communities that they opted in and they said on such and such a date at such and such a time, we'll accept first come, first serve license applications.
Oh, so
that stuff used to happen in Michigan. I mean, it just happened recently because someplace just now opted in and did this.
Yeah, they're one of the latecomers to opt in. It might be Farmington, Farmington Hills, whatever. I've seen it all over. News stories on it. People waiting 3 weeks. People being paid to stand there.
Yeah, that used to happen.
I know. And some of the articles I'd seen had mentioned that, like in the old days of licensing, but this is one of the last places to allow for licensing.
That happened in Ipsy. They let us slide. They let Third Coast slide. We were just automatically in, but all the other subsequent licenses had to do that. Had to like be in line, and they camped out on the sidewalk and stuff. Leone Township, did that.
Yeah, that was the first. You were my first fucking bud tender, man. You probably don't even remember that.
I don't remember the incident, but I know that that's the case. Probably walked away with some not the world's greatest cannabis.
It's all right.
At that time.
It was like literally after I signed my paperwork, and I didn't even come in with it in there with a card. I just had my paperwork and ID.
That's funny. I was buying weed out of that building long before that dispensary was there.
So, you know, the New York Times, they always
long before it was more organized, but that's all it was.
Oh man.
So the New York Times, they love to post stories about cannabis. But as America's marijuana use grows, so do the harms. The drug legal in much of the country is widely seen as a non-addictive and safe. For some users, these assumptions are dangerously wrong.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah. They get into the crazy people.
The reporters are continuing to examine cannabis policies, use of the drug, and the rise of commercial market. If you have the story information to share, please contact here. But in Mid-Coast Maine, a pediatrician sees a teenager so dependent on cannabis that they consume Practically all day, every day.
Lucky fuckers.
Hope they didn't ask them about their masturbation habits.
So, from Washington State to West
Well,
Virginia.
yeah, they smoke pot during the refractory stages.
Right.
It's ideal.
Washington State to West Virginia. Pediatricians treat rising numbers of people who are using the drug and have brought delusions and paranoia and other psychosis. You were talking about that.
Yeah, man.
There's just some people out there that shouldn't fuck with weed.
Well, listen, crazy people who test positive for weed are not necessarily turned crazy by the weed. It's just a catalyst. There's something's
Right.
going to people eventually. And
they are fucked up, and it doesn't always mix well with cannabis, but cannabis doesn't make them fucked up.
And it does.
And I don't mean that fucked up in a harsh way. I mean they're just have a condition.
Oh, some people are fucked up, bro.
Well, yeah, some people are fucked up, but I didn't mean necessarily like.
There's not enough of them for the heavy-handedness that the rest of us have to suffer. You know, more people are helped than harmed, and not by a little. By the majority, pejorative, you know, whatever term you want to use. So, good luck to these people.
But yeah, they're talking about the rise in all the use in cannabis, but then there's other stories out there saying the total opposite.
Right. It all depends.
Now that it's legal, you know.
There are ways of looking at a study and determining if it really was able to conclude something causal to cannabis, or if it is just designed to make it seem as though cannabis is causal, but it really never really concludes that, and that's most of that stuff.
I mean, I will agree. If you smother monkeys with cannabis smoke, you're going to find dead brain cells in their brains.
And Chelsea said she's been locked down with jury duty. Damn, fuck that.
Vote to.
You know how I get off it? Jury duty. You know how I do it. 9 out of 10 times. Oh, there's a cop on the fucking case or whatever the fucking trial is involved with that I know. And not in a good way. Like I grew up with them and I know exactly why they became a cop. You know.
I get out of it by filling out the paperwork. They ask my information. I'm like, all right, but you're never going to have me on a jury. I can guarantee you that right now.
Yeah.
So I don't even show up because they're just not, you know. But I believe that everybody should be given a second chance. I don't care what you do. Well, almost.
So we were talking about Cali earlier, about ease and everything. The black market's going down as well, man. 30K plants, 11 tons of processed cannabis seed seized in Mendocino County operations. So Mendocino County announced details of a massive operation targeting illegal cannabis grows, saying that there was over 30,000 plants in more than a dozen sites last month. Sheriff's office said Monday that they serviced numerous warrants in the Round Valley area of northern part of the county. These operations were performed in collaboration with the state and federal partners to target unregulated and unlicensed marijuana production its impact on the community and the quality of life of the residents of Covelo. During the operation, which took place between September 20th and September 25th, a total of 16 sites were targeted. The majority of the sites in and around the community of Covelo, more than 60 miles north of Ucall. Well, one site in Mendocino National Forest. Damn, that's where they fucked up.
Oh yeah, and they steal water and do all kinds of horrible.
Yeah.
What, 35,000 plants? 60.
No, that's it. That's what they're talking to. Well, they found all kinds of. They found 6 firearms.
Well, yeah,
including a ghost gun
mm-hmm.
and a sawed-off shotgun seized.
Yeah.
So that they're saying that it was all connected to, like, all the ones that they fucking targeted were operated by the same people.
Well, I bet that's only 2,000 plants, 200 plants per grow. If they had 16 locations.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's my understanding that the industry up there is real. You know, the sheriff's is like, hey, we'll go after the illegal people. You just got to point them out to us. And especially Mendocino County, they've been busting people for weed for centuries.
I know.
Now all of a sudden they can't, and they got to allow these people to be licensed. So they're going to go after.
So I mean, they never passed that shit in Cali, or did they? Where it's like a fucking federal, like, is it like, what would be the fucking jail time for that type of shit?
Well, I'm sure they have. They charge them with, first of all, with conspiracy. Second of all, they charge them as kingpin type thing. It's not possession, not bro. It's you know, it's more than that.
I forget how many plants you're allowed to grow
here,
in California. Well, I know without even a card, you can still grow 12 plants, can't you?
Here, yeah, but
yeah,
here, but you could grow 100 plants here, and no, they're not going to do anything to you.
I heard you can only fucking grow like 4 in Colorado now, or maybe it's 6.
But Michigan laws treat violation of that very leniently.
Yeah.
That's the key. If you're going to have a silly law, at least have a lenient response. But yeah,
because it was
Cali, man. They fly in helicopters and drop down. They come in fully locked and loaded.
I mean, they did it with state and federal officials, so it has to be federal, right?
Well, the feds are gonna look at it and see if they can find anything on it. Not necessarily the weed itself, but the conspiracy aspect of it, and tax evasion or whatever.
It's crazy, man.
I mean, remember when that would have been like the biggest news ever?
Right.
Something like that.
It's like,
now it's this month's report.
All right. This week's report.
Right. What?
They didn't.
Starting to get chilly out here.
Oh, I bet, bro.
Oh, definitely. It was just like hot, and then it just started getting cold.
Well, it's wow.
Oh, she was in a what? She was on jury duty for a fucking murder trial.
It's warmer in Amsterdam than it is here.
Shit.
That's good.
When are you going?
I leave election day, November 4th.
Shit. KK's up in this bitch. Keswick Farms. What up? What up?
Gonna throw a party there, celebrating 30 years going to Amsterdam. 94 is when I went for the first time. Freedom Fighter of the Year.
Oh, damn. My 30th high school reunion. It's gonna be 2 years. 30 years since I graduated.
That's funny. Yeah, this will be the first time I've been back since Sinclair died. And that'll be an adventure.
Yeah, wasn't his birthday the other day?
Yeah, October 2nd would have been his birthday. I went out with his daughters and
Oh, cool.
some of the band with the baby, as we say, and ate down at Armando's.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. I
Perfect.
haven't been to Armando's in years.
One of Sinclair's favorite haunts.
Last time I was there was with John.
Right.
So Entheo Fest took place September 11th, I guess just under a month ago, and I used my time to highlight John and Rick.
Cool.
And in the magazine or the guide for the event, there was a couple pages in. There was little tributes to both of those guys in there too. I saw your post not too long ago too, Adam, about missing John.
Yeah, it's really wild. He doesn't call me anymore. Crazy
I
hour.
know, yeah. I'm used to him hitting me up. He's like, I need my sleep meds. Talking about Native Made gummies.
Right. Yeah.
Sugar free.
But yeah, it's wild. Talked to his ex-wife. She called, just so happened to be dinner. She called to say hi to the girls. Saw her today, actually saw her online today. But I guess it really wasn't his ex-wife, it was his current wife, because he was still married to Penny. But yeah, I'm looking to do a tribute type thing, set something up, but we'll get there.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
Chelsea's like, did the cops got you, Jamie? I see lights.
That looked like that. I was hoping you got pulled over on your drive home, you would have left the camera on.
When I said the interior lights on, so I'm not sure if that's cool or not. Yeah, this is what this is.
Oh shit!
Flashing at you.
That's much cooler than cop lights.
Yeah, there's
For
something
sure.
good about
For
cops.
sure.
Up in the backyard, relatively safe spot.
9.99% of the time. no, 99.9%. I'm high, my best. I'm glad when it's not. People need to understand, man. Like some people have been traumatized by the police.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. PTSD.
A lot of my PTSD is like the first time I ever got a gun in my face was a cop.
Right. Well, let me show you my.
Unfortunately, it was the last. It wasn't the last time. You know, what I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah.
What other stories you got, Adam?
Oh, I don't know. I got a grab.
It's crazy how fucking like
thought it froze.
What?
I thought Adam froze. I didn't realize.
No, I
he
didn't
just-
freeze.
Nah, he's.
I'm just. I had to pull this thing up. Go on.
What?
Well, you were gonna say something? You.
Oh.
All right. Marijuana component. This is what I love. Marijuana components show promising potential as anti-cancer agent studies.
Whoa.
Though mechanism of actions are still a mystery. A scientific review on cannabis and cancer concludes that a variety of cannabinoids, including Delta-9 THC, CBD, and CBG, show promising potential as anti-cancer agents through various mechanisms. For example, by limiting the growth and speed of tumors. But authors acknowledge that obstacles to incorporating cannabis into cancer treatment remain, such as regulatory barriers and the need to determine optimal dosing. Cannabinoids, including Delta-9, THC, CBD, and CBG, exhibit significant anti-cancer activities such as apoptosis induction. Oh, Adam, how'd you pick this? Autophagy stimulation, cell cycle arrest, anti-proliferation, anti-antagonists, metastasis inhibition, says the report, published late last month in the journal Discovery Oncology. Clinical trials have demonstrated cannabinoids' efficiency in tumor regression and health improvement in palliative care. The workings behind those apparent benefits, however, are still largely unknown. Despite the evident anti-cancer properties of cannabinoids from numerous experimental results, the review says the exact mechanisms of action still require extensive research. It adds, despite the positive outcome of using cannabinoids in cancer therapy, there remain significant gaps in knowledge regarding their modes of action, effects on the tumor microenvironment, and the physiology of the signaling pathways they affect. To that end, the research team, 9 authors from schools in Pakistan, Portugal, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Romania, and South Korea, said that further large-scale randomized controlled trials are essential to validate these findings and establish standardized therapeutic protocols. While cannabis has been used medicinally for centuries in Asian and South Asian countries, the team noticed the current renaissance in therapeutic cannabinoids has sparked renewed research interest, extending their use to various medical conditions, including cancer. By expanding our understanding of cannabinoid mechanisms and their cell interaction and their interactions with cancer cells, they conclude we can better harness their therapeutic potential in oncology. To compile information for their analysis, authors looked at English language studies about the anti-cancer property of cannabinoids. This included research articles, review articles, and meta-analysis that involved in vitro, in vivo, and clinical trials. Among the varieties of cancer covered in this research were breast cancers, glioma, leukemia, lung cancer, melanoma. The analysis also looked at the use of marijuana in palliative care of people undergoing chemotherapy, noting that cannabinoids are significant in the palliative care as it helps in appetite regulation regarding regulation of pain along with anti-nausea role. I thought that was kind of interesting that these foreign country people reviewed English studies, which probably came from English-speaking countries. And they're starting to see some of the things we've been jumping up and down about for a while. So that's good.
I guess there's a big fake THC big boom vaporizers, aka the fucking, disposables and everything that are sourced from the US ending up in the UK's school children's pockets. They're saying 1 in 6 of the vaporizers confiscated from the school children across the UK also contained SCs, synthetic cannabinoids, which can be seriously dangerous.
Well, that's all Delta 8 stuff.
Yeah.
And the only reason
this is coming from the University of Bath.
Can be seriously dangerous.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Properly. See, that's the problem. If it's processed properly, it's completely safe. So, what are they trying to say here?
Yeah.
But of course, it's England. What do you expect?
Right. The University of Bath. I've never tried any of that fucking fake shit. Like the synthetic fucking. Have you?
You've never snorted bath salts?
Yeah.
No.
Wow. Where have you been, man? Everybody's doing it.
I didn't know you could snort bath salts, really?
No, you can't. You're
all
not
right.
supposed to. But yeah, man.
No offense to people that like bath salts out there.
Yeah, right. I mean, I've been.
There's people out there buying fucking hemp flour, dipped in THCA and shit like that.
Apply heat to it, it magically turns into regular pot.
I'm like, oh man.
I've been in gas stations, outside of Dexter, maybe. No, not Dexter. Shit, Chelsea area, out that way a little bit. And like,
not much of a distinction there, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. But 3 different gas stations, and they all had huge counters of Delta 8 and the Delta 9 and from the same companies, which is that converted oil, and huge displays. And you don't give up that kind of showcase, that kind of space, if you're not selling the shit out of it. And I'm like, what? These people don't go for regular weed? But I guess not.
So when the truck driver had like at that huge truck stop there? Or yeah. So like, what if the truck drivers are getting it going, yeah, well, hemp's legal, that should be okay.
Right.
Yeah, the DOT, I don't think likes to positive cannabis tests.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And that's part of the problem. I mean, I didn't fight up for all this, for all these years so that people could accidentally lose their jobs. Education's got to be a part of it. But this becomes It's almost becomes like a gotcha from these people. They know what they're selling. They don't care who buys it. And they're not telling anybody anything about it. They're just selling it. You know, I could see a head shop selling that stuff and saying, you know, this isn't what you think it is, but we can sell it, so we do. Need any whipping cream gas?
I mean, one of our previous sponsors, Western Tobacco, they sell
little nitrous tanks.
Right.
Hemp and fucking the psilocybin spores, all that shit.
I used to sell psilocybin spores in my grow shop. But that was much more illegal back then.
Wow.
But nobody cared. It was St. Armor. But I do worry about the converted stuff and Delta 8, because if you do make it wrong, you can really hurt people. You know, we're not talking about not mixing the oil and the brownies well, and one being a lot stronger than the other. But yeah. Sorry. That could be a real problem. Oh my gosh.
All right. You guys got to be this has to be honest answer. Have you ever had any like hemp, smoked any hemp that you would continuously smoke?
Nope.
Like that it was enjoyable?
Nope.
Well, the best I can say is that I've had something that it's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But I
but
wouldn't like take it over other options that I have in the regular cannabis selection world.
If I couldn't get weed, I still wouldn't smoke that.
Nah, like I haven't had any that I truly enjoyed.
I've had some that looked killer.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro. That's all I was saying. Like I was looking at the shit that they had at that smoke shop. Just a regular smoke shop. And they had a whole fucking case of that shit, bro. All different kinds of shit. Like different brands and all that shit. I'm like, what?
I've been to trade shows where they had 50-gallon barrels filled with 6 different flavors around their booth. And some of this shit looked like fire.
It was hemp.
All hemp. 100% hemp. Legal, transferable.
Yeah.
Take as much as.
What did it smell like? Hey?
With a weed smell to it. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
You could have. Here's the sad part. You could have sold bows of this stuff to unsuspecting.
Oh yeah, the old bait and switch. The old bait.
3 years
ago,
look
at this shit.
Sold a $500 bow. Hey, I got 20. I need to dump. I can dump them to you at $500 a piece. Blah 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 blah. And they'd have looked at it and gone for it. And it looks really good. It just doesn't have any real flavor.
Yeah, that was my whole thing. Was the flavor.
That's where the terpenes come in, and the terpene profile is very different, let alone the cannabinoid profiles.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Bash Cash says, don't forget to smash that like button.
There you go, Mr. Promos.
Right. Yeah. I know it's still kind of early, but you know, anybody that's gonna be performing at Hash Bash Cup?
No, I don't. I don't put
too,
anything
too
in.
early.
No, I don't put anything. I'm still on vacation.
You know, it's cool, and it's been said a million times, is that you just show up there because it's a cool thing to go to, and then you're surprised by how cool all the live music is.
And who they are.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been talking about some people.
Oh, like I've been surprised. Like I'm like, that's MC8 playing right now. I was like, oh no, that's not MC8 playing. That's him fucking performing.
Right.
That's fucking crazy, bro. I had no idea he was even there.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's the best part of it. Is that you never know who's going to be walking through there, and you never know who's going to get up on that stage. Trust me, I know, because ain't nobody getting up there that wasn't invited. But we try to make it so that you'll appreciate, even if it's not your style of music, you're still going to appreciate what you heard. I get people come every year. Dude, man, that orchestra that you had playing when the doors open, they were killer. Well, yeah, man, they're a famous jazz orchestra. Of course they're killer. You know, a reggae guy, they'll love this guy. I mean, we try. Just looking for good weather this year. That's what I want. That's all I care about.
So what I'm saying, like all the fake shit out there that's made from hemp. So, I mean, is anything about it real? Like the terpenes or anything? Like nothing.
Real?
Awesome.
Well, no, it's like an isolate CBD, so there's like it's just stripped all the plant's been stripped already anyway by that time.
But they gotta reintroduce like flavor and all that shit.
Well, they'd be smart to.
I don't know, man. I've never had none of that shit. So.
Well, if you just allow regular cannabis to be around and don't worry about it, then you don't worry about like trying to like figure out all these different loopholes and making synthetic versions of it and
right.
Yeah. They almost want to tell the legislators, hey, listen, if you just let us do our thing, these people won't pop up.
It's a result of prohibition.
Right. I mean, it's a loophole that everybody in the weed game admits that's there. As much as they either don't understand it or don't like it, because they see it as a threat. But it's not, to me, it's not a threat to Metric because you couldn't put your Metric product in the gas station anyways.
Well, Metric, there was it's the big bust that was in the news. You guys probably talked about it. Somebody bringing in distillate from Colorado and kind of slipping it into Metric products.
Duh.
That's when it affects it.
Right. No, that's true. But again, these gas stations don't affect the market. They're outside, completely outside, and you won't be able to sell your product there anyways. Man.
So, what are you guys smoking on?
I am smoking on some, what was it called?
I'm smoking on some original Z, Michigan motherfucking turf farms. I'm running low on the original Z though. Wink, wink.
I'm dabbing on some debt. From an unnamed source. But I busted the proxy out from the gig on Saturday. And it took me a minute to relearn all the buttons and how many times you got to push for what you want. But I like this thing. I hate having to charge it though. That's the one thing that kills me on these battery powered whatevers. The inability to have a second charged battery. Because once you lose the charge, now what? I got to put it in charge. It's easier just to break out my banger and my torch, but not backstage at the Ark. So, but I like it.
Rap said he's dabbing on some Pygasm rosin from my caregiver. Oh shit. You got that caregiver. I'm smoking on my caregiver too. So this should be third first. Do you say what you're smoking on, JP?
I'm smoking on it's called Guava Bees.
Guava bees.
First time I tried it's pretty good. Superb cannabis.
Never had no fucking guava flower.
No, I've only
a lot of the guavas that I've ever tried. The only guavas I've ever tried were concentrates.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I found a guava tangy in my whatchamacallit, my Puffco box, proxy box. I was shocked.
How much was that? Or you probably got a different price.
I did.
What did those normally run?
I don't know. I want to say $200, but I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I really don't remember. And yeah, I paid it. I didn't pay for it actually. It was given to me.
Okay.
It's nice. It does get hot in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only hit one time.
It's nice.
Yeah. Something about having water to filtrate it.
Yeah. But it's nice when it gets hot and there's nothing left in the chamber, you know, it vaporized everything.
Yeah.
It's nice. You still got to clean it out though. You got to keep it super clean. So it's still a Q-tip requiring product.
Stick to my Puffco. Damn, I didn't realize this time already. Want to remind everybody out there, save the date, October 20th, Get Back, Coat Drive. Winter is coming, people, so we need to help some people out. Keep them warm this winter, so bring in some coats, sweaters, gloves, winter socks, all those things. Come through, get in, get a free raffle ticket to win awesome prizes from all the vendors. I'm sure our boy Chi-Town's going to be in the building, cooking up some goodness. I'm going to be playing some music there. I want to say Adam, he's going to be there. Maybe not. I don't know.
I will be there.
All right. Adam's going to be there. Yeah. Native Made, Nugget Duction, of course. John Doe, your boy Nice. This goes on. Fuck Off Extracts. I think it's some other regulars, but that's all that's coming to mind. But come through, have a good time, and maybe win some awesome shit. And once again, I want to remind everybody, go out, get your medical marijuana card, y'all. One of the awesome people you can hit up is Detroit Certification Center. Get it for as little as 10 minutes online, or you follow them on social media, Detroit Cert Center, or go to the website, DetroitCertCenter.com, or give them a call or text at 248-275-6707. And once again, much love to all of our fucking sponsors. Shout out Native Made 313, Michigan Turtle Farms, Nugget Duction Extracts, Tiki Madman, SOB Labs, and Tree Street Packaging. Boom. Much love to all of y'all out there that are still with us. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. And once again, thank you, Adam and Jamie, for joining me. And hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Monday.
Peace. Be well.